Hello everyone, and welcome to this video on the art of saying no, how to prioritize your time and energy. My name is Rod, and I'm excited to share with you some practical tips and strategies for managing your time and energy effectively. We all have busy lives, and it can be challenging to balance our work, personal life, and other commitments. That's why setting priorities and learning to say no when necessary is so important. In this video, I'll discuss the benefits of saying no, common barriers to saying no, and strategies for saying no effectively. I'll also share tips for prioritizing your time and energy based on what matters most to you. By the end of this video, you'll have the tools you need to take control of your time and energy and achieve your goals. So let's get started. First, let's talk about why saying no is so important. Saying no can be difficult, especially if you're a people pleaser or afraid of missing out on opportunities. However, learning to say no when necessary can have many benefits. For example, saying no can help you reduce stress and avoid burnout. When you say yes to everything, you may end up overcommitting yourself and spreading yourself too thin. This can lead to feelings of overwhelm and exhaustion. On the other hand, saying no can help you prioritize your time and energy and focus on what's most important to you. By saying no to things that don't align with your goals or values, you can create more space for the things that do. Let me give you an example. Imagine you're asked to take on a new project at work, but you're already feeling overwhelmed with your current workload. If you say yes to the new project, you may end up sacrificing your personal time and putting your health and well-being at risk. However, if you say no to the new project, you can focus on completing your current tasks to the best of your ability and avoid spreading yourself too thin. So, as you can see, saying no can be a powerful tool for managing your time and energy. Despite the benefits of saying no, many people still struggle to do so. There are several common barriers that can make it difficult to say no, such as fear of missing out or fear of disappointing others. Let's take a closer look at these barriers and how to overcome them. Fear of missing out, or FOMO, is a common reason why people say yes to things they don't really want to do. They worry that if they say no, they'll miss out on an opportunity or be left out of a social event. However, it's important to remember that saying no doesn't mean you're missing out on anything. In fact, by saying no to things that don't align with your goals or values, you're creating space for the things that do. Another common barrier to saying no is fear of disappointing others. Many people worry that if they say no, they'll let someone down or damage a relationship. However, it's important to remember that saying no doesn't have to be negative. You can say no in a respectful and honest way that shows you value the other person's time and effort. Now let's talk about the negative consequences of not saying no when necessary. When you say yes to everything, you may end up overcommitting yourself and spreading yourself too thin. This can lead to feelings of overwhelm, stress, and burnout. It can also affect your relationships and your ability to perform well at work or in other areas of your life. So, as you can see, there are many reasons why saying no is important. Now that we've discussed why saying no is important and some common barriers to doing so, let's talk about some strategies for saying no effectively. These strategies can help you communicate your boundaries and priorities in a respectful and honest way. First, it's important to be honest and respectful when saying no. You don't have to make up excuses or lie about why you can't do something. Instead, be honest about your reasons for saying no and express your appreciation for the opportunity. For example, you could say something like, "Thank you for thinking of me for this project, but I'm afraid I won't be able to take it on at this time." Another strategy is to offer alternatives when possible. If you can't do something yourself, is there someone else who could help? Or can you suggest a different time or approach that would work better for you? By offering alternatives, you're showing that you're still interested in finding a solution, even if it's not the one that was originally proposed. Finally, it's important to set boundaries and stick to them. This means being clear about what you can and can't do and not overcommitting yourself. For example, you could say something like, "I'm happy to help with this, but I can only commit to 2 hours per week." By setting boundaries, you're showing that you value your time and energy, and that you're committed to using them in a way that aligns with your goals and values. Let's look at some examples of how to apply these strategies in different situations. If a friend invites you to a party, but you're feeling overwhelmed and need some alone time, you could say something like, "Thanks for the invitation, but I'm feeling a bit burnt out right now and need some time to recharge. Can we plan something for next week instead?" If a colleague asks you to take on a new project, but you're already feeling overwhelmed with your current workload, you could say something like, "Thanks for thinking of me for this project, but I'm afraid I won't be able to take it on at this time. Is there someone else who could help, or could we revisit this in a few weeks when my workload has lightened?" By using these strategies, you can say no in a way that's respectful, honest, and effective. Now that we've talked about the importance of saying no and some strategies for doing so effectively, let's shift our focus to how to prioritize your time and energy. Setting priorities is essential for making sure you're using your time and energy in a way that aligns with your goals and values. One way to prioritize your time and energy is to make a list of your tasks and activities, and then rank them based on their importance and urgency. Important tasks are those that align with your goals and values, while urgent tasks are those that require immediate attention. By ranking your tasks in this way, you can focus on the ones that are most important and urgent, and delegate or postpone the ones that are less so. Another way to prioritize your time and energy is to schedule your tasks and activities in a way that works best for you. Some people are most productive in the morning, while others work better in the afternoon or evening. By scheduling your tasks and activities at a time when you're most productive, you can make the most of your time and energy. It's also important to make time for what matters most to you. This might include spending time with loved ones, pursuing a hobby, or taking care of your physical and mental health. By making time for what matters most, you're prioritizing your well-being and happiness, which can have a positive impact on all areas of your life. Let's look at some practical tips for prioritizing your time and energy. First, try to focus on one task at a time, rather than multitasking. This can help you stay focused and be more productive. Second, delegate tasks when possible, especially those that are less important or urgent. This can free up your time and energy for the tasks that matter most. Finally, be willing to say no to tasks and activities that don't align with your goals and values. By doing so, you're creating space for the things that do. By prioritizing your time and energy, you can make the most of your resources and achieve your goals in a way that's sustainable and fulfilling. Thank you for joining us today for this video on how to say no and prioritize your time and energy. We've covered a lot of ground, from why saying no is important to some practical strategies for doing so effectively. We've also talked about the importance of setting priorities and making time for what matters most. Now it's up to you to apply what you've learned and start saying no when necessary. Remember, saying no is not a sign of weakness or selfishness, but rather a way to protect your time and energy and stay focused on what matters most. I hope you found this video helpful and informative. If you have any questions or feedback, please feel free to leave a comment below. And if you'd like to see more content like this, please subscribe to my channel.